Well, Dad, it's been 2 long weeks of drought. But, Dad, we're finally back in the promised land.
We're back in the win column?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. Go Sooners. Finally. I thought we were going on a losing streak there. I think West Virginia was the best of those 3 teams. You know, Kansas, OSU, and West Virginia. To me, West Virginia was the best of the 3. But
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is yet another episode of Date of Us Sooners, where we talk about the never-ending soap opera that is Oklahoma Sooners football. I am your host, Britton Summers, along with my other host, my dad. His name's Todd. How you doing, Dad?
Good. Hello, fans.
So, OU finally seemed to get its head out and played a pretty good game.
Yeah, so Levy does know how to coach offense, and he knows how to call plays, it seems. So 59 points. I'm pretty happy with that. How are you feeling about it?
I mean, I've had my problems with Jeff Levy, and I'll probably still have problems with Jeff Levy. But, Dad, credit where credit's due. You did a good job this week.
Yep, scored on 9 of 12 drives.
Yeah, didn't get too cute.
No, not too cute. And the Sooners win 59-20. So, would have liked to have 60. I like 60. I like 70 better, but I like 60. But 59-20, a good score. And the Sooners are back in the Big 12 conversation for the Big 12 title. Now, I heard the Big 12 today changed their tiebreaker rules. And on the top of that list is OU ain't getting in. That's what I heard, but I'm not sure about that. So we'll see. But right now, I just want to get to the 10 wins. We're, 8-2 now?
Yeah.
We got a Brigham Young team, and then we got TCU at home. So I just want to get the 10 wins and get out of this lousy league.
Yeah.
The refs suck. The commissioner sucks. And the team suck. So good riddance, Big 12.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd say that.
Now,
I will miss the Big 12 a little bit, but not too badly.
who are you going to miss the most in the Big 12? What team?
What team? You know who I'm not going to miss?
Who?
Kansas State.
Yeah, true. Been a thorn in our sides. Now, before you were born, we wiped them off the map every game. That was a easy win. I bet I don't even know what our all-time...
When they got Bill Snyder.
Oh, yeah.
It became a game.
It became a game when Bill Snyder came on. So I'm not even sure what the all-time win-loss total is versus Kansas State. But yes, they beat us. You were probably just born, but we were 11-0. Just coming off, I think, Jason White's Heisman Trophy year. Looked like we were unbeatable. We go into the Big 12 championship, and they just wipe us off the floor with Darren Sproles. Remember that guy? You ever heard of that guy? Darren Sproles?
That might be a little... Well, not before my time, but that might be a little bit before I really kind of... Because one of the first games I remember was that infamous OU-Oregon game.
Okay, yeah.
And
that's
UAB.
well after that. That is well after that. So let's see what the record is against the Wildcats. I'm trying to pull this up while we speak. But 77 wins, 22 losses. So they're a little better than Bedlam, it seems. So, anyway,
I miss Texas Tech.
Texas Tech throwing the burritos at us. Yeah, that's one to miss.
You know who else I'm not gonna? You know who else I'm not gonna miss?
Who?
TCU.
Yeah, TCU.
They're always a pain.
Yeah, they were a pain. We've got
also, Gary Patterson was apparently kind of an overbearing person.
Sweaty, very sweaty.
Yeah,
always
sweaty. I'm kind of surprised he didn't stroke out during one of those games.
Always looked like he was ready to rip somebody's head off at all times.
Yeah.
So, But him and Bob Stoops are good friends.
Oh, well.
And they play golf together. I didn't know this. I saw them on a podcast together.
Well, I guess they get along then. I guess he didn't take the losses too personally.
So some of these coaches, they get along behind the scenes that we don't know about as fans. So anyway, now let's talk about that light show after touchdowns. What do you think about that? What are your opinions?
Kind of threw me off at first. I thought oh no, there's some power going out, but I'm okay with it. What do you think of it, Dad?
Let me tell you what I think about this. Now, you've been to the OU football games before, live, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, have you heard them when they shoot the guns off?
Yeah.
Does it scare the crap out of you?
Used to when I was younger.
Yeah, but you got used to it because you knew they were coming. So I don't mind the guns.
You don't mind the guns?
I don't mind the guns. I'm used to the guns. That's a tradition that goes way back. I like the fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
You know how they have the fireworks on top of the...
Yeah.
I like the fireworks. But I don't like them shutting the lights off and turning Gaylord Memorial Stadium, Owen Field, into a disco ball. a disco dance hall. I mean, lights blinking on and off, red, but... What? Why are we doing this? And I know it's kind of hip around the United States, or the...
You know what I think we should get, Dad?
What?
We should get those things that the OSU fans have and just...
No, we're not getting it. The paddles?
I had a feeling you'd say no to that.
I'll burn those paddles. So Stoops gets blown up in the end zone. Drake Stoops I'm talking about. The lights go out. And then they've got a...
Little Dylan Gabriel apparently decides to throw down.
He steps up for his boy. But the West Virginia guy's teabagging him there in the end zone with the lights out.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Isn't that what you guys called it back in the day?
Yeah.
You and Nick?
Yeah.
In your little Call of Duty game?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They're teabagging him in the end zone with the lights off.
Even though he got the touchdown.
Yeah. So, I think it's Bush League. You know what Bush League is?
What?
Kind of lower level. That's what
yeah.
Bush League, like the major leagues, is major leagues, and then the Bush Leagues is lower than that. So we're Oklahoma. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean we need to do it. We need to be unique. We are Oklahoma. There is only one Oklahoma. That's what they say. Let's prove it. Why do we have to be like every other clown show?
Well, I bleed crimson red, Dad.
Mm-hmm. If you're gonna do a light show, crimson red.
Yeah.
Blood red on the field. None of these little disco ball out in the middle of the field. So anyway,
yeah. Apparently, Gabriel was throwing down in the end zone.
And then
one of the guys got thrown out of the game.
Play, the guy gets thrown out of the game over the deal. So
yeah, everyone got all mad because apparently, the Italian guy who's our sports commissioner, what's his name, Castellano. Apparently, fist pumped the guy, and everyone got all mad. I was like,
they call him Joe C. It's part of the Sopranos. So, all right, enough about the lights. So let's talk offense. So, high octane.
Yeah, finally getting it together.
Mm-hmm. Throwing passes over the middle. Mm-hmm. Stogner.
Yeah.
Got the tight end involved.
Yeah.
It's what we've been talking about. I'm no offensive coordinator, but I see what I see, right?
Yeah, apparently I read somewhere, Stogner got hurt, and that's why he's kind of slowed down. Because it's lingering, I guess. I don't know.
He looks like he's kind of bulked up and a little fatter than he was when they must have fed him pretty well over there in South Carolina because he just looks bigger than I remembered him.
Well, they say the South has good food. So.
Yeah.
Well, we are in the South, so.
South Carolina is a little more in the South.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, they're a little more South than us.
I liked the way the offense was running. We had the running game in high gear. I liked what I saw out there. Levy. Well done this week.
Well, like I said, I got to give credit where it's due. He did a good job this week. Now, if he could do that most weeks, I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
But,
it's consistency.
Yeah, I know.
It's consistency. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for 1 week great, and the next week we're running jet sweeps all game and throwing it up to the sidelines. We had a jet sweep or two. That's fine. But not play after play after play. Not running Gavin Freeman in motion and then handing him the ball when everybody's watching him in motion. That just, I don't know. But well done, Levy. So I was pretty happy about his play calling. Now, Gabriel, 23 of 36, 423 yards passing, 5 TDs, 11 rushes, 50 yards, 3 TDs.
You mean the ones he got himself or the ones he threw?
Well, 5 TDs passing, 3 TDs running. That equals 8 TDs. Did you know that's an Oklahoma Sooner all-time record?
Oh, I did not know this.
Breaking Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray's record of 7 touchdowns in a game.
Wow, that's crazy. Congrats, Gabriel. Maybe I underestimated him a little bit.
Not happy about it.
But why are you not happy about it?
I didn't want him in the record books. I preferred Baker in there and Kyler. So, anyway, he's in there. I don't know that that'll ever be broken. That one, 9 touchdowns in a game. Who's going to do that? Well, we don't know yet, but that's a lot because typically a running back's going to score a touchdown or something like that. But 8 touchdowns. It is an OU all-time record. He may be in there for your lifetime. What about the running backs? What do you think about the running backs?
Running game looked a lot better. That's been one of our struggles this season is figuring out what's up with the running game. We had Major in for a while. Then Todd was in. We finally started to get looking up, and then he got hurt, and then we put Sawchuk in. Sawchuk looks like he's starting to get his act together. So, it's good job, boys. You've done well.
I feel like Sawchuk has kind of grabbed the reins of the running back position, and he rushed it for 22 times, 135 yards. The thing I liked about it is we had one back in basically the whole game.
Yeah.
You know how we're usually running Major in here? Oh, we'll put Tawi in. Oh, here's Sawchuk. Oh, let's throw Barnes in for a couple plays.
Yeah, that was a frustration of yours early on in the season.
When you got Adrian Peterson, you keep Adrian Peterson in the game, and you play him, And so I felt like he got a bit of a rhythm, and I feel like that Levy's finally figured it out. Leave Sawchuk in the game. Or if you're going to run Tawi, leave Tawi in the game until he's tired, So
or he gets hurt.
So nice runs by Sawchuk. Looked like he's got some speed.
He's become more patient, is what you were saying.
Very good. Yes, he was much more patient. He's waiting for the hole to develop. Boom, bust through there.
Yeah,
and that's how it works.
We did get screwed out of 2 touchdowns though. Like there was one big run. I think Sawchuk did one of the big runs, and then Nicky Anderson. He gets shoestringed.
He's got to die. That doesn't happen to Drake Stoops, right? You don't shoestring Drake Stoops. And speaking of Drake Stoops, the receiving yards, Stoops, 10 catches, 164, 3 touchdowns.
I'm going to miss Stoops.
Oh, my gosh. Is this guy going to get all Big 12? Like, All-American, all Big 12, meaning one of the top players in the Big 12?
Possibly. Everyone was all like, oh yeah, Gabriel, or they said somebody, and I'm like, what about Stoops? Like, Drake's been killing it this season,
I remember when him and his brother, his brother played 1 season with OU, or he quit after maybe even a half season. I can't remember exactly, but I'm thinking in my head, they let Bob's boy on the team, and then he makes a few catches. They're throwing him the ball a little bit. In respect to Bob, throw the kid the ball every once in a while. Then the next year he's like, he's kind of playing, every once in a while, making more catches. Then at the end of the year they give him a scholarship, which Bob Stoops probably got enough money to pay for the scholarship, but anyway, or pay for the college, but anyway, they give him a scholarship. Then he becomes a starter. You're like, hey, I'm not even mad about it. I'm like, yeah, he deserves it. Now he's like the best guy on the team.
Yeah.
That what is that? You're probably bigger than him.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we're the same height.
How tall was Bob Stoops when you met him that time? Is he a lot taller than you? Or?
He was maybe a little taller than me. He was about my height.
I remember when I met him at in '99 when he was first hired. And I was like, who's that? Tim Lasher over there? Thought he was the kicker. Then it's Bob Stoops. I'm like, wow, he's small. So,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Drake has really made a name for himself, and he is an amazing player. Now, is he going to make it in the pros?
Well, you never know.
You ever heard of a guy named Wes Welker?
Yes, I do remember him.
Okay.
Mom worked with him. Mom worked with his mom.
That's right, yeah. He's about his size. And he played in the league for, 8-10 years. So I think Drake has a chance. I don't know. We'll see.
It could happen.
It could happen. He's just tough as nails. He
Yeah.
makes the plays. He makes the plays.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I will say, I'm glad Levy didn't make the mistake of doing that 3-yard play behind the line. Just do it when you have 2 yards to go. What are you doing?
Yeah. So he made some good plays, and I think any of those plays across the middle we would have beaten OSU. But
He got blasted though. I was like, oh
and
no,
that touchdown.
Hope he's okay.
And he hung on to the ball. But
Yeah.
he got lit.
It was a clean hit though.
Oh yeah, guy did not lead with his head. He just ran into him hard. It was a good hit. After the replays, I thought that's definitely targeting. But he just hit him hard.
Then you got a better glimpse. You're like, okay, he just hit him really hard.
Hit him really hard, and that's football, right? So, and he just got his breath knocked out of him. He didn't get a head injury. Just sometimes in football, you get hit real hard and you can't catch your breath for a minute, and then it comes back to you. So great game by Drake Stoops.
Looks a lot like him too.
Oh yeah, the resemblance. Other than the dark hair versus he's got the light hair as mommy's hair. But other than that, he looks just like him. Jawbone.
Yeah.
Everything looks just like. Bob.
I'm like, look at this. There's a little mini Bob Stoops running around.
I wonder if he's going to want to be a coach.
Yeah, that would be something. There've been a couple of father-son duo coaches. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Buddy Ryan and then the Ryan boys, Rex Ryan and I can't remember the other brother, but that's the biggest known. I don't know if you know who those guys are, but
the Jets coach was
Jets
one of the
coach.
Ryans.
Yeah,
he was kind of a goober.
Yeah, that's Rex Ryan, I believe. So, now, did you hear the Stoops interview where the reporter said, so people are saying you don't have much to play for anymore. I mean, are you let down now? I can't remember the exact question. Did you hear that interview?
Oh yes, yeah, I saw a little bit of it. Yeah, He's like, yeah, we got plenty to fight for.
He's like, people, who are people? Sounded just like Bob. People, what are we talking about? People, who are the people? He's like, the fans. I don't care about the fans. I've invested for 6 years of this. Year round, so that was awesome. Went viral. So I love me some Drake Stoops. Gonna miss him. I hope he makes the pros because I'd like to see him play some more. Nick Anderson, 4 catches, 119.
Got robbed of a touchdown. It was very frustrating.
He's gotta dive. Gotta dive, kid. And then we, struggled getting it in there. We ended up scoring, but it got down to 3rd down and we finally knocked it in there. But
yeah, 3rd time's the charm. We had another big run from Stoops, and he finally managed to get it in there. So
4 catches, 119. That's 29.8 yards, 30 yards, a reception. So he's our big play guy. Like I said, Stogner, 4 for 29. He got a touchdown finally this year.
Yeah.
The tight end has always been a big part of the OU offense, and Levy has just not used it well enough, in my humble opinion. A guy that hadn't played as much football.
Stogner's not very fast.
He's not very fast, but he is in a position where they don't guard you very much.
He is tough, though.
Yeah, he's tough.
Takes a couple people to bring him down.
And
he's like Todd.
Then our boy Gibson, who I thought before the year, his hands last year, he just was always dropping stuff. He's actually dropped a ball in the spring game that could have won the spring game for the red or white team, whoever's team he was on. I thought he had horrible hands, but he's done a good job this year, and he had 2 catches for 38 yards and a big touchdown. So good job on the receiving teams. Now, special teams.
Not a fan?
Not special.
Or maybe special in a different way.
Every week, there's something. It's a bad punt. It's missed field goals.
There was kind of a block in the back, though, I think, with the one guy this game.
He got blasted, and that's where the special teams has to understand. That's where the Freeman receiving the ball has to yell, Peter! That's the old room. That's the old saying they say in football where it's like, Peter, that means don't play with it. Don't play with your Peter. Huh? And I don't know what happened if his guy wasn't paying attention, but he tries to catch the ball, and I mean that West Virginia guy just shoves him right into Freeman, blows him up. Fumble recovery by West Virginia. I guess that's legal. It looked,
It looked kind of sus. There were a couple of bad ref calls this game. I'm like, what is going on? We're at home. You'd think they'd take it easier on us.
We lost our home field advantage as soon as we signed that contract with the SEC. So 2 drop punts. We did lose 1. And my question is, what's going on with Freeman? Before the year started, he was the talk of the town. He's in the weight room. He's lifting weights. You can't guard him, and he's just disappointed.
I don't know if it's really his fault. He's just I haven't really been utilizing him very much.
Yeah.
And also, again, that lovely inconsistent play calling from Jeff Lebby. I don't know. Lebby's always using Freeman for his bad plays. I want to see a good play. I want to see last year when he that guy blew him up and he just kept going. I want to see that, but I haven't seen a lot of that.
Double reverse the first time he ever touches the ball, scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't know. I'm not giving up on Freeman, but he just is not done well. And then on the special teams this week, it was not good. So, the defense
looked good. Kind of seemed sluggish at first, but we got
our
act together.
First drive was a little scary, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, here we go again.
I was giving you the look, like, oh my gosh, this is going to suck, right? But Stutzman back. What'd you think about that?
I was glad to see him back.
Yeah.
I was kind of mad we didn't get him last week, but if my guess, they're probably just trying to be safe. They're like, hey, we don't need him getting any more hurt. We'll wait till next week.
Yeah.
And then he comes back all fired up. Couple of plays, but mainly I would just give that to West Virginia's very good offensive line. That first touchdown they got. That was just good on the West Virginia offense. Wasn't really the fault of anybody.
Yeah.
But, he stepped up, came back, and really made everyone in the coaching staff regret that they didn't put him in Bedlam.
He's the heart and soul of the defense, in my opinion. When he's out there, the whole defense runs better. Now, you probably don't know this, but Kip Lewis, number 10, he's a freshman.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him play a few times.
Right. Now, he knows he's the backup for Stutzman in his position. And he's played so good that Venables decided to play him in Stutzman position, but move Stutzman over and then send Canick to the bench.
Oh, wow.
And that's a different position. And so even after the game, I was listening to the post game like I love to do on the radio. And Stutzman said, I made a few mistakes out there, and that first drive was kind of my fault because I didn't have everybody lined up where they were supposed to be because I was still trying to think about where I'm supposed to be. So,
I was about to say, I think that was just good on the West Virginia offense. But aside from that, I was very pleased with our defense.
We really shut them down after that first drive. Now, we're starting to become very good at these goal line stands.
I know. I was just shouting at the West. Well, I mean, I'm never going to root against OU, but sometimes, I can't help it. Stupidity makes me upset. It makes... I should sue West Virginia for emotional damage because of... They're just running up the middle 4 times. But throw the ball, West Virginia. It could save your life. But yeah, we did another goal line stand. Apparently, we're just really good at it.
Plus, I think they had a 4th down where people were liking to run 4th down plays on us in the middle of the field. And we stopped them there on 4th and 1.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So, we're doing great at those. As a matter of fact, last year that was a no-brainer. They were going to just give them the first down now, start it over, because they're going to get the first down. And then we had also 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
17 for the year. I know it leads the Big 12, and I think it's top in the whole nation.
Yeah, our defense is very much improved.
Grinch who? Alex, where are you? Oh yeah, you're fired. You're back home right now. So. Anyway.
Yeah, he got fired, and everyone was like, overdue.
And And then we had numerous tackles for loss. I don't remember any sacks necessarily, but we kept stuffing them, bullying them.
Yeah, we were harassing that quarterback, which is what I'm always saying. Like, pressure the quarterback.
Yeah.
Maybe don't blow him up, but like pressure him at least. Get him off his toes a little bit. We're very good at that.
And then, so I'm pretty happy with the defense. I thought they looked really good. The special teams, I did like on that punt return where our guy kind of blew him up. Remember that one? We thought it was going to be we thought it was going to be
a fair catch. We're like, oh.
Yeah. So
almost called targeting there.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a targeting. So, but all in all, great game, right? 59-20.
Yeah, good game. I was pleased. Yeah. At the end there, I was just like, oh god, just let this game be over. I'm like, I want that every week.
What'd you think about the 6 o'clock versus the early morning games? You like that better? You like that better? Yeah, you get up, fart around a little bit, mosey around, watch a little bit of football, go get something to eat, get us some pizza, and then the game starts. It's nice.
It was a good week. Football.
Yeah. Next up, Brigham Young. You know their
yes.
You know their mascot?
Oh yes. The Cougars?
That's right.
Yeah, I remember we played them long time ago. For some reason, we were in Arlington. We went up there. Sam Bradford gets hurt, we lose. I was just like, man.
You were supposed to go to that game. Remember that?
No, I think we did go to that game.
You were there, and you were supposed to come in with me, but at the last minute, you decided to stay out with Aunt Lisa. And then Mom came in with me, and you and Aunt Lisa went and watched it somewhere, I believe.
Yeah, that game was... But, do I think we could beat BYU this time? Yes, I do.
We better be able to beat them. They're one of the worst teams in the Big 12.
Really? Well, I was about to say they played Arkansas pretty hard, but
yeah, that was the
Arkansas, they're just unlucky.
Yeah.
Talk about a snake bit in college. Woof. Their quarterback is a beast.
I think he might be a senior this year. They might be losing him.
Oh, it's going to be a big suck. He's probably the best part of that team. And they are not bad, even though they have a bad record. Like, they are not terrible. Like, they've gone toe-to-toe with, LSU. And they even started giving Alabama a fight, and then Alabama just went Alabama on them again.
Yeah, Arkansas just has not been able to get over the hump. I mean, they've been in the SEC for 20 years, maybe more. Have not been able to get over the hump. Like a Missouri comes in. You'd think Missouri would get killed, right? You think about Arkansas, Missouri, football. Arkansas is better, right? That's what you think? No, Missouri. I mean, Missouri is a really good team this year.
Yeah, Missouri's coming back.
Yeah. And I think they were in a championship game or two, Missouri, at least in the early parts of being in the SEC. So.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Anyway. I was about to say, I don't even remember. Last time I remember they were good is when they were in Big 12.
Yeah.
I was about to say with us, but I meant Big 12.
Now,
poor Arkansas.
I believe Brigham Young has got a lot of injuries since they played Arkansas pretty good, and so they're kind of a shell of themselves at this point.
Yeah.
And obviously it's Brigham Young. They probably got some good players. We are playing them there. Now, it's another 11 o'clock kickoff.
Boo.
And they're out west.
Oh.
Which, I don't know if you know much about time zones, but...
A little bit. I've done a few podcasts with people in different time zones, so I am aware.
So, these are in the mountain time zone, which is 1 hour behind us. So, when it's 11 o'clock here, it's 10 a.m. there. So, they're having a football game at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, it's going to suck.
How do you think the fans feel about that in Brigham Young? They're saying, hey, we're new to the league. What, you're going to put OU's punishment on us? I'm barely out of bed at 10 a.m. Luckily, they're all Mormons out there, and they probably haven't drank a lot of beer the night before. So,
yeah, I was about to say, Utah's Mormon land, so they have to be...
Yeah.
It's just... I just want to leave the Big 12 now. Even though I'm nervous about going to the SEC, I'm just like I'm tired of the chicanery. I'm tired of the crap. I want to be gone.
I think you're like, did you hear the OU fans chanting SEC, SEC?
Yes, I did.
I never thought I would hear that from the OU fans. We hated that for all these years. But we're just fed up with this clown show. We're done with this. So
yeah, we're done with the Big 12 hating on us and all of our glory. Okay, we're gonna leave and see how good they see how good they fare when we're gone.
They're trying to find a way to keep Texas and OU out of it. So they're dying for Iowa State to beat Texas this week. And then they're going to change the rules again. So it'll be like Kansas State versus Oklahoma State to keep both of us out of the championship.
Well, they're going to give Gundy a chance to finally get a Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
Even though he blew it 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy.
1 yard short.
Yep.
So we should be able to rout Brigham Young. That is if Levy keeps his head pulled out of his...
Well.
Beep.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Enough said about that. So, all right. So this week we had some big matchups.
Yeah.
A lot of good games on.
Yeah, there was a couple good ones.
And Texas versus TCU was not a big matchup that I had penciled in.
It was probably the sloppiest game I saw this week.
Yeah,
I mean,
Texas 29-26 over a...
Oh, what, our bad juju finally caught up to them, I guess? I don't know.
Remember when I was watching the game and I called it? I looked at it for 5 minutes. I go, oh my gosh, this is going to be a blowout. And I changed the channel immediately.
And I was like, well, hold on, Dad. Hold on.
And it ended up being 29-26. So my question to you, and I think last week, what was it? Oh, K-State. K-State had him last week and then let him off the hook. So my question to you, is Texas vulnerable? They're playing Iowa State at Iowa State. I believe it's a night game.
Well, they are beatable,
yes,
as we've seen.
They are beatable.
In Big 12 play, as we demonstrated in Red River. Could happen. I don't know when, but it could. Do I think they'll get in the playoffs? I don't know. But I don't think they're going to win the championship or anything. But I don't know.
It would be nice if they lost. That would make it like a 4-way tie, and I think that would give OU an advantage on getting into the Big 12 championship. But I just don't know if that's going to happen. So
also, did you talk about the embarrassing losses in our league, or have we not gotten there yet?
We haven't gotten there yet, but go ahead. If you got one on your mind, go ahead.
So Kansas, after talking all their crap all last couple weeks, they lose to Tech.
Yeah, I didn't even have that one penciled in.
Now, to be fair, Tech beat us last year.
Right.
So, and that was kind of because of just OU was just not on their A game.
We were down.
Yeah. So you start talking all your crap to us, and you lose to Tech. Now, no disrespect to Tech. I think Tech's another one of those snake-bitten organizations, which solid team, but they just haven't caught a break.
Yeah.
But really?
You think they fished that?
You'd think that Kansas would be emboldened, you know? They'd be like, oh yeah, we're tough Jayhawks now, and then they go right back to being Kansas. And, you know, when I saw they lost, I'm like, Dad, good juju. Good juju. I think we're going to win this game.
And then, do you think they fished that goalpost out of the river there after they beat us and they tore the goalpost down?
Oh, they probably replaced it.
You think they replaced it? I think they should have fished that thing back out and welded it back together. That was a ridiculous loss. Now, another big loss that I was cracking up about.
Yeah, I was flabbergasted by this.
The space game, they call it. You know, there's a lot of astronauts that come out of the University of Central Florida, and I heard that the university was actually created to funnel talent to NASA. And they had never lost a space game in the past.
Well, what do you mean by space game?
They called this game like the space game. Like, you know, they called this Bedlam when we played.
Oh, yeah.
UCF one game out of the year they call it the space game, and they had Space U on their uniforms. Those blue uniforms.
Oh, okay.
Right. And the funny
I thought it was like a rivalry or something. I'm like, what? You just joined.
And the funny thing is, they knew that they had never lost a space game, and they scheduled OSU. I like that.
And they blanked them.
Oh man. 45-3.
So you come out after beating your rival that everyone said is better than you. And you're like, oh yeah, this is probably going to embolden OSU to just, come back and win it all. Nope.
They go right back to being OSU. Yeah. The choke pokes. Remember those fans that were flipping off the buses and waving us goodbye to the SEC? And they have gone. See you later.
Yeah, they've gone right back to earth.
UCF's their daddy now. It ain't no you. It's UCF is your daddy now. How's that feel?
Oh man, that was when I saw that. I'm like, oh yeah, I think we're definitely winning if they lost.
Even in a 45-3 blowout, I watched the whole thing.
You relished it.
Yeah, I relished it. I wanted to see the whole thing. And UCF pulled off the old Florida rainstorm.
Oh.
I lived in Florida for 5 years.
Yeah. I'm like, it's looking all rainy. It's like, it is.
Well, in Florida, what happens is, you're on the beach, you're getting your suntan, right? All of a sudden, is that a dark cloud coming in? Nah, it's Florida. All of a sudden, downpour.
Oh, it's swampy, too.
Everybody leaves the beach.
It's all swampy and windy, too. It's, I've been to Florida only a couple times. Not fun. Not a fun experience.
Yeah. Within an hour, that black cloud leaves, and then everybody can come back to the beach. But everybody's left, so me and Mom would sit there and go, all right, let's ride this out for a little bit. We know it's going to leave here in a minute. Go back to the beach and finish our day, right? That's what happened to OSU. They were not ready for the Florida rainstorm. They were dropping their punts. Quarterback was dropping the ball when it got hiked to him, fumbling everywhere.
Yeah, I saw everyone on OU Twitter being like, we lost to that. But then again, as I've said to everyone, football's a fickle, fickle mistress.
And like I've said to you, OSU only cares about one thing.
Beating us.
Beat OU. Everything else, they don't care about winning a Big 12 championship. Oh, we beat OU. That's our 20th time in 107 years. So I was happy to see that one. I can't.
Yeah, that was a debacle.
Now, a team that's not vulnerable, Bama.
Yeah, they were looking vulnerable there at the beginning of the season. Like, are they gonna be down this year? No.
Black Magic don't play that. Black Magic Saban don't play that.
Oh yeah, their new quarterback finally seemed to get his act together. We got another legend. We got another Tua.
He's fast.
Tua, Nick Young, others.
Yeah, he's
smoked Kentucky.
Oh yeah, 49-21. So Bama's back. Are they going to be the ones that are going to snap Georgia for us?
Never thought I'd say it, but I'm pulling for it.
You're going to root for Bama? Oh my gosh, how fickle the fans are.
And then and if they do, I'm going to go right back to hating Alabama. I'm not happy saying this.
Gosh.
I might be laughing, but I'm not happy saying that.
Let's say they snap Georgia for us and then win the whole thing.
Oh God, I'd just be like,
that'd be like, kind of like OSU.
Yeah.
UCF. Oh Lord.
Watching that OU game is almost like you've played like your best game, and then suddenly you just get like the runs or something. You get real sick and you just can't play. I don't know, man.
I know what you're saying. Michigan versus Penn State. Penn State. Why do they keep rating Penn State? They're terrible.
Well,
they play a lot.
They're a solid team. They're not They're definitely not a top 10.
They're like Iowa. They got a good defense. They got no offense.
They have no offensive.
They lose 24-15. Any comments on the Harbaugh Spygate debacle?
Man. Yeah, I heard about it. I was just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, again? Like, there've been scandals of this. You'd think Harbaugh would be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. For as long as he's been playing. You'd think, like, maybe Bobby Petrino would do something like that. Or
that sounds like he would
or like Jimbo Fisher would do something like that. No, Jim Harbaugh decides to do that. And he just gets... the offensive coordinator's there, and then he starts crying his eyes out like, I won a game. I don't want to make fun of the guy. I get it, You You get it. He's probably just shocked he won the game. To be honest with you,
that's not a big game. Michigan should beat Penn State. That's like us beating, like OSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought we were going to. So, speaking of Jimbo Fisher, terminated.
Yeah, he got fired. I heard about that.
Did you hear what the buyout was on that contract?
Well, yeah, I heard it was pretty ridiculous. Wasn't it like $8 million or something?
$74 million. That's what he got to be fired. Here, go away. We're not going to pay you anymore, but here's $74 million.
Yeah,
that you can dry your tears on.
Yeah, I have a friend on Twitter, on OU Twitter, who just hates Texas A&M. Particularly. It's not like, Texas where it's like, oh yeah, we all hate Texas.
Right.
Like, he hates A&M.
Yeah.
And he never passes up the opportunity to make fun of Texas A&M. And he's going like, man, they must have hated him if they gave him $74 million just to leave.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. You'd think you'd put up with him another year and bringing that down to about $50 million. Each year it was going down, but
what?
I think they won the game too. I don't know. That was pitiful. That was the first time because the other coach got fired also. The first time after a game that both head coaches were fired after that game in NCAA history. So yeah,
it's pretty
Jimbo
ridiculous.
is gone.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Wonder if he'll coach again.
Did they say what he did?
They said they were stuck in neutral. These 7-5 records were just not going to cut it anymore. A&M's always had a higher. When they look in the mirror, they see a king, but when they're really just a frog. Okay? They haven't been kissed by the princess yet. Okay? They're always thinking they're better than they are, and they're paying. They got that NIL money like crazy. A&M's got a big booster.
Oh, God, I hope they didn't give it to Bobby Petrino. I heard he was the offensive coordinator this year.
They might have.
Oh, why would you do that?
They might have made him the interim. I did not know. I did not hear who the interim coach was. And then the last thing I'm going to say about A&M is they've got those guy cheerleaders that swirl the hankies in the air. Never could stand that. Never could stand that.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. One tradition I do like with them. I like two traditions of theirs, maybe three.
Like their military stuff?
I like their military stuff, but after every touchdown in the stands, the cadets kiss their girlfriends for however many seconds about points they've scored. So, I do like that tradition there. Second tradition, they've got the 12th man there because their crowd's so loud. So I like that tradition as well.
We're going to be playing them again since we're in.
And then they do the swaying in the crowd like this. The whole crowd is swaying back and forth, and it looks pretty cool up in the stands.
We're going to be playing them again.
I can't wait.
Since we're back in SEC.
Make them our little whipping boys again. Can't wait to play A&M again. So we beat them. One of the worst I've ever seen OU beat a Big 12 team. 77-0.
Yeah, I think I've seen that on YouTube. A day that lives in infamy, I'm sure, for A&M fans.
We could have scored 84. We were kind of downing the ball, like we were running it in there real soft. We weren't even trying to score. And one of their players hit us pretty hard on a play that we weren't even trying to score on. And then he started celebrating. I'm thinking, you're getting beat 77-0. What are you celebrating, kid?
He's probably just happy he got a good playoff.
I think he might have been a freshman. First time he played all year. So.
Oh, man.
Well, Dion loses again.
Another snake-bitten team. I mean, Colorado isn't terrible. I don't know what happened. They just
lose it 34-31 to Arizona. Not good. Shine's kind of been wiped off of Dion there. It's a little brassy there.
Yeah. Hopefully next year they can bounce back.
Yeah, I think he's going to build that up. Now, I've been hearing some talk. I think it's just like the pundits talking, but of him maybe taking over at A&M. Is he ready to take over a program like A&M 1 year at Colorado.
I was about to say, yeah, I had heard that, but my thing would just be like, look, let him figure it out at Colorado first before you think about getting him on A&M.
Mm-hmm.
It would be fun going up against Dion, though.
Yeah.
Those would be fun games to go to.
Yeah. Now, I did hear also that there's a rumor that Levy might be interested in the Mississippi State job.
Oh, we get rid of him?
That'd be fine with me.
Yes, I was about to say, please.
Goodbye, Levy. Goodbye, Levy. All right. And then Mizzou, where's Mizzou coming out of the woodwork?
Yeah, I was about,
They dominate Tennessee.
When was the last time they were good?
I don't know, but they're playing good this year.
Again, when they were in the Big 12, maybe? Because they've been kind of
They were in a championship game that I went to back right before we went to Florida to play Tebow, and they were in the championship game against us there in Kansas City, and we smashed them. But that's when old booger eater Chase Daniels was on their quarterback. But so that's the last time I remember them being any good. And then FSU against the University of Miami. This is before your time, but that used to be the game of the century every year, and it's kind of died. The Canes are horrible. And so FSU beats them 27-20, and the Canes are a shell of themselves. So,
I thought they were trying to come back there at the end, if I remember right.
Yeah, they were trying. And then two games that I really liked that I thought you might like. Number one was the OSU game. Number two, Oregon dominates USC, and Riley is having the year that we had last year.
Yeah, did you see those? Did you see on Twitter that lady fan who basically was petty enough to go to the USC games? It's like, F you, Lincoln Riley, OU's better without you, you piece of shit.
No, I did not hear this.
No, I'll have to show it. I'll have to show it to you after this show. But oh man, yeah.
Wow, she didn't have very much time on her hands, huh?
I guess not. But I was. Everyone's like, look at it was that kind of Joe Buck. Look at this classless act from the OU fans. Just despicable.
That is kind of despicable. You're going to waste your time doing that? My goodness.
I'm like, okay, look, I know he left. I know we're all mad at him, but, come on.
So there are rumors that maybe he might go to A&M. You think that's a possibility?
Oh,
He's
man.
from Texas, Muleshoe, Texas. That's why they call him Muleshoe. But you're living out there by the ocean, mansion.
Plus, I think it's just one of their. He had it with us. You remember 2020?
Yeah. So
when we weren't bad. I think we still won the Big 12 championship that year, but we were struggling. So I'm not saying it's too unique. Also, USC. I'd say it's a good gig.
Yeah, that is a great gig.
I mean, Pete Carroll was there. He was the Alabama before Nick Saban finally showed back up.
So.
And then he's like, I'm going to go to the NFL now. And then he won a Super Bowl. We're like, what? You know what? You stay in the NFL, Pete. If we give him more, if you came back to college, you would just give everyone heart attacks. Well,
we'll see what happens. It should be an interesting offseason this year. Now, games coming up this week, obviously OU versus Brigham Young. We've talked about that. Should be an OU rout. Now, you remember every year the SEC at the end of the year plays these crummy teams, right?
Yeah.
They'll play like Alabama versus Jackson State or something like that. And you're like, what's going on? Remember, they try to get their conference game started early while everybody else is playing these crappy games. Then the SEC's playing good games. So that's this week, it seems, because I saw a lot of the games were not good. But one good game is Georgia at Tennessee. Now they just got blown out by Missouri, so I have
who went toe to toe with Georgia.
Right, but I have no hope of Tennessee putting on a show against Georgia.
Sorry, Heupel.
Yeah.
Also, I've heard some people calling him Bobby from King of the Hill.
He looks like him.
A little bit, yeah. If he grew up.
Did you like that Georgia chant I let you hear?
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Pat McAfee, man, that dude's alright. Apparently, he went to West Virginia.
He did. He was the punter at West Virginia, and he played on their team the year that they beat our butts in Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, wow.
We thought we were going to crush them.
Yeah, no,
And
Yeah, I remember
put it
that
on
game.
us.
That was not a fun one.
Yeah, they put it on us bad that game. So he
I was
was on,
I'll tell you, that game, I was still demoralized after after Boise State beat us that year previously. Oh,
and then
that
West
was
Virginia
brutal.
hands it to us.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Right, but when West Virginia came to the Big 12, we didn't let them win. We won like 9 or 10 in a row until they finally beat us last year. So anyway, that's behind us now. But then Clemson versus Mac Brown's Carolina. That's how bad the week is. It's not,
Boring week.
and then in the Big 12, we got games that mean something for us. We need Houston to beat OSU. Can that happen?
I don't know. Houston's kind of eh.
Now they're old. Their coach is Dana Holgerson, and he used to coach at OSU. And I heard some sports talk guys saying there's nothing more that Dana Holgerson would like to do than to beat OSU. But is that enough? I mean, the players have to do it. Dana is not playing the game, so I don't know. We need Houston to beat them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think OSU has Brigham Young their final game, and that's not going to happen. So Houston's our last chance. And then K-State's playing Kansas in a sort of a rivalry game. What do they call that?
Well, that's finally going
to the Big Apple game. Or
that
something?
should be actually not bad because both those teams are actually pretty good this year. So unless Kansas decides to go Kansas again,
could happen. Could happen.
Just have zero faith in Kansas.
Yeah. So let's talk a little NFL. I think you and I both predicted a blowout with the Cowboys over the Giants.
Yeah, I lost track of time. I walk in there, it's like 28-0. I'm like, jeez. I just pity the Giants fan base.
Boy.
Even though we're harsh rivals, I'm just like, good God. I thought the Giants were actually getting better.
Yeah.
I guess not.
They've got those couple of Super Bowls, though, when Eli Manning was leading them. So.
Oh, yeah, that was... Yeah, And Strahan was there. And,
Phil Simms.
Yeah. Parcells was there for a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a good coach for them. CD for the Cowboys. 3 games, 150 yards, plus 10 catches in 3 straight games. First time in NFL history.
I miss CD.
CD is in the record books in the NFL. So way to go, CD. Yeah, CD's a bad man.
I miss CD.
Yeah, I do too. Now, here was a kind of a shocker last night. I was happy about it because I won my fantasy football league over it. But the Broncos, I had the Broncos defense. I'm thinking, nothing's going to happen there. The Broncos beat the Bills.
What is going on with the Bills? The Bills are just...
Bills. 24-22. Now, there was a debacle at the end of the game. You didn't see this, right?
Yeah, I remember I woke up on Monday and I saw they lost. I'm like, how? And it was funny, too, because I saw it was like 155. I'm like, giving them too much time. She'll be fine. They're probably going to stop Russell and get the game. I wake up the next day, they won the game. I'm like, how?
So, before that happens, the Broncos score to go up by 6. They bring the field goal unit on for the extra point. They flub it. Only up by 6.
Of course they did.
And they leave the Bills the ball with, a couple minutes left in the game. You know they're going to score, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you make a mistake like that, it's going to go and score. Sure enough, Bills march right down, score a touchdown. They kick the extra point, and they go up by 1 with, a minute left. So it's 22-21. The Broncos march the ball down there, and they use their timeouts. They're on about the 20-yard line, but they've used all of their timeouts. So they run a play to get it. They down the ball on the right hash mark. I guess that's where their kicker likes to kick from. And then the Broncos offense goes rushing off because they have no timeouts left. There's like 18 seconds left. It's clicking down. 17, 16. The offense runs off. The kicking team runs onto the field. They line it up really quickly. 6, 5, 4. They snap the ball. He kicks it and misses the field goal. Bills win. Uh-oh.
Was there a flag?
There's a flag on the field.
Oh!
12 men on the field by the Bills.
Oh!
They give him 5 yards. They've got plenty of time to set up, kick the field goal, and the Broncos win the game.
Oh!
Now think about that.
That hurts.
That hurts, right? So one guy on the Bills didn't count. 11 guys, yeah, we're good. Nope, they don't count. Nobody counts. So there's a guy responsible for that on the team. I don't know who that is, but he didn't do his job. For that loss, the Bills fire their offensive coordinator right after the game.
You mean their defensive coordinator?
Their offensive coordinator, because they should have scored more points against the Broncos, in their opinion. So anyway, the NFL.
Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. That's why I don't gamble on football.
As you've said.
Yeah. The 49ers.
Yeah, it came back and thrashed the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that who you wrote down? I thought
Yeah.
you said the Bills
Yeah,
for
I
a
messed
second.
up. I had that spelled
Oh.
out wrong. So, Kyler's back.
Oh, yeah?
Comes back to the Cards. They get a big victory over the Falcons, 25-23.
Oh.
Your Lions, your buddies Lions, they get a win over the Chargers, 41-30.
Man, not bad. Yeah, they're a good team.
Baker, back in the win column, 20-6 over the Titans, who are
A shell.
they're a shell or in shambles, whatever way you want to say.
Yeah, King Henry, man. You can only use King Henry so much.
He needs to ask for a trade.
Yeah, I know. 49ers, let him.
They got McCaffrey, so who knows? But the Texans, out of nowhere, are somebody.
I heard this. I saw this on Twitter. I was shocked.
They beat Cincinnati.
I was flabbergasted. We thought, and well, Cincinnati can come back from. They're getting a lot better from their. When they were beginning, they were just kind of slumping around. I'm like, oh no, they're sucking again. And they came back, and then and I texted a guy I know. I'm like, wait, they won? And he's like, yes, believe it or not, yes. I was shocked, but yes, they did.
And I think last week, didn't I say that they were back?
Yeah.
Cincinnati was back, and then they're not back. So, and then the Browns beat the Ravens 33-31.
Yeah, Browns have a great defense. They've been kind of zigzagging from coming back to mediocrity.
So let's say I was a gambler, I probably would have lost at least $1,000 last week.
You would probably get a visit from what's the word? Disreputable characters.
Exactly.
After a day like that.
My bookie would be coming by saying, "Hey, those were some good bets you made, but you owe me $1,000." So next week, got some pretty good games on the slate. Cowboys versus Panthers.
Panthers are clown show.
Right, so
I think the Cowboys are going to steamroll them.
That should be another blowout. Bengals Ravens. That should be a
good one. That should be a good one.
I'm pretty happy about that. You got a selection there on Bengals Ravens.
Pulling for the Bengals, but I can see the Ravens pulling it out. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention Steelers Packers. That was a crazy game. Saw a little bit of that.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. I've never seen a worse team be 6-3. The Steelers are horrible. They've been out. They've been gained in every one of their games this year. The other team has gained more yards than them in every single game, and yet they've won 6 of them. So
Steeler magic. That's all I gotta say.
I'm gonna say Steeler magic. So. They've got the Browns this week. So
I can see the Browns pulling that out.
I would think so, but the Steelers, I don't know.
Steeler magic, man.
And then Baker got back in the win column, but he's got the 49ers coming in this week.
I'm hoping he comes to Dallas. He seems like he would do well.
You think you'd like him there?
I would like him in Dallas. I mean, the Browns kind of screwed him over. Because he was doing not bad at the Browns.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know what? We're going to get Deshaun. Great idea. Browns being the Browns, they're like, we're going to get Deshaun Watson, even though there's plenty of question marks with that guy. And they get rid of Baker.
They closed all the massage parlors in Cleveland, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think the game of the week's got to be Eagles versus Chiefs.
Ooh, the big rematch.
Yeah,
that should be fun.
You got a thought on that game?
Oh, man. Well,
Who you rooting for? Let's start there. Who you rooting for?
I mean, I have a soft spot for the Chiefs, but I think the Eagles might pull it out. Chiefs have been kind of struggling recently. Lose to the Broncos. I'm like, what? Almost choke it away to Miami.
Right.
In Germany.
Sure.
Wait, did they play anyone this? Or wait, no, they played Miami this week, right?
I believe so. That was a real early morning game. That's why we didn't see them, because they were over in Germany, so they played at like 8 in the morning here.
I can see the Eagles pulling that one off because Chiefs are kind of been recently, you know, they're kind of I don't even think they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl this year.
Is the problem the Taylor Swift distraction? Is everybody thinking?
No.
Are all the Chiefs players going, "Where's Taylor? Where's Taylor? Is Taylor watching?"
I don't think
saying,
so.
"Hey, quit looking at her."
Never say never, but I doubt that a lot.
Probably not. So, anyway.
Plus, I don't want to hear the tongue lashing from my friend Tilly at work if she sees this.
Let's don't bring it up to Tilly. Anyway, so fun week of football. OU, big dominant win. Gave us a little breather this week. We didn't have to sweat it out till the end. You didn't have me. You didn't have to tell me it's still early in the game all day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you act like we're gonna lose every time we make a mistake. So.
I'm like a Fansville.
Yeah.
I'm like the guys that boss says it's the first play of the game.
Yeah, I know. They should just give all the money to whoever made that up.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So.
You seen he's like, I love the. He's like, oh yeah, you know the Wildcat. He's like, I love the Wildcat. He's like, we got a fan. He's a late bloomer. And she's like, babe, catch it.
Smack.
Bonk right in the head. Oh, she's like, that's right
player.
to you. Yeah, the lacrosse player.
He was growing some painting on his chest. Oh man, those guys are hilarious. All right, Britt, any final words for this week's show?
Go Sooners, go.
Boomer.
Sooner.
All right, let's get Brigham Young.
Yeah.
Get our breakfast on against Brigham Young.
Yeah. Well, this has been yet another week of Days of Our Sooners. And so long, West Virginia. Definitely won't be missing you.
Yeah.
Until next time.
I do like the mascot.